Number 10. Ricky Fowler's rolling ball disaster. It was the final round of the 2019 Waste Management Phoenix Open, and Ricky Fowler had everything going his way. He was leading the tournament and playing confidently. But then came the 11th hole. After hitting into the water, Fowler took a routine drop near the green. Then something totally unexpected happened. He turned his back, and the ball began rolling, and splashed right back into the water. Because the ball was technically in play, he was assessed another penalty stroke. The look on Fowler's face said it all: complete disbelief. It wasn't just bad luck, it was absurd. A triple bogey now stared him down. Yet, incredibly, Fowler kept his composure and went on to win the tournament. However, he did it with the highest final round score ever recorded by a champion in that event. A bizarre moment that proved golf can humble anyone fast. Number 9. Bryson DeChambeau, golf's resident rulebook manipulator, found himself in a strange situation at the 2021 WGC FedEx St. Jude Invitational. His ball ended up under a mesh fence along the boundary of the hole. Most would have accepted it as out of bounds, but not Bryson. The officials used string to determine that a tiny part of the ball was still technically in bounds. Lucky break, right? But then came part 2. His stance was on a cart path, which normally grants relief, but only if the shot he's attempting is reasonable. When the official asked how he'd play it, Bryson confidently said he'd punch it back into the fairway, selling the idea like only Bryson could. The official gave him the free relief. It was a moment that combined golf nerdiness with theatrical flair. It may have looked ridiculous, but by the letter of the rules, it worked. And that's what makes it one of golf's dumbest yet brilliant moments. Number 8. Mark Rowe's scorecard nightmare. Mark Rowe was having the round of his life at the 2003 Open Championship. After years of modest finishes, he shot a dazzling 67 in the third round and put himself just 2 strokes off the lead. It was shaping up to be his breakout moment on the biggest stage. But a devastating oversight unraveled everything. Rowe and his playing partner, Jesper Parnevik, forgot to swap scorecards before their round. They recorded accurate scores, but on the wrong cards. And once they signed those incorrect scorecards, the rules kicked in: disqualification. Rowe's face told the story. He had just thrown away his only real chance at winning a major, not because of a poor shot or a mental lapse on the course, but due to a procedural mistake. It was a gut-wrenching end to what could have been a career-defining weekend. A tragic reminder that in golf, the paperwork matters just as much as the performance. Number 7. Lloyd Mangrams Bug blunder. Imagine losing the US Open not because of a bad swing or missed putt, but because of a bug. That's exactly what happened to Lloyd Mangram in 1950. In a playoff with Ben Hogan and George Fazio, Mangram was trailing by a single stroke and putting to stay in the hunt. After marking his ball once so another player could finish, a bug landed on it. Mangram marked it again, blew the bug off, and drained the putt. Seems harmless, right? Wrong. Under the rules at the time, marking your ball a second time, unless it interfered with another's line, was illegal. He was penalized 2 strokes. Just like that, his 1-stroke deficit became 3. Hogan went on to win the playoff, and Mangram's shot at a US Open title vanished. 1 bug, 1 second mark, and 1 brutal rule. An unforgettable moment where golf's fine print crushed a champion's dream. Number 6. Hideki Matsuyama wasn't struggling with his swing or losing control of his game when he was disqualified from the 2022 Memorial Tournament. In fact, he was playing just fine until a sharp-eyed rules official noticed something strange on his 3-wood. White paint on the face of the club. It wasn't dirt or scuff marks. It was paint deliberately added to help with alignment. While it seemed harmless, the rules state that any modification that could affect ball behavior renders the club illegal. Matsuyama had used the club just once before being told his tournament was over. 1 swing, 1 non-conforming club, and a disqualification. For a Masters champion, it was a stunning turn of events, not because of performance, but because of equipment. Golf isn't just a game of inches, it's also a game of rulebook details. And in this case, a little paint proved to be a big mistake. Number 5. Sergio Garcia has never been known for staying calm, but in 2019, he crossed a line few thought possible. At the Saudi International, Garcia first took out his frustration in a bunker, violently hacking the sand after a shot. But it didn't stop there. The next day, still seething, Garcia damaged 5 greens across the course. This wasn't just frustration, it was destruction. Players in the groups behind began reporting the damage, and officials had no choice. Garcia became the first player ever disqualified for serious misconduct under Rule 1.2a. Afterward, he issued an apology, admitting he let his emotions get the best of him. But the incident was already seared into golf history. A former Masters champion, reduced to vandalizing greens. It was a meltdown unlike any before, and it served as a harsh reminder that professionalism matters just as much as talent. Number 4. Patrick Reed had just won the 2014 WGC Cadillac Championship, a major milestone. But instead of savoring the moment, he grabbed the mic and dropped a bombshell. "I'm one of the top 5 players in the world." The problem? He wasn't even ranked in the top 20 at the time. Golf fans cringed. Analysts rolled their eyes. The media lit up with reactions. It was a moment of pure overconfidence, cocky, unfiltered, and frankly awkward. Yet there's a twist. Reed went on to win the Masters in 2018 and climbed to a career high of world number 6. So while his statement was wildly premature, it wasn't entirely off base. Still, that cringeworthy moment at the microphone will always stand out. It's the kind of comment that sticks, not because it was right, but because it was so unearned at the time. A classic case of speaking before the rankings speak for you. Number 3. The 2015 Portugal Masters was going smoothly for Alvaro Cirros, until he found himself with a simple tap-in for par. After missing a makeable birdie putt, the ball stopped just inches from the cup. Routine, right? Not exactly. Cirros stepped up casually, tapped it, and watched in horror as it bounced off the back of the cup and popped out. Everyone froze. The crowd gasped. Commentators were speechless. The ball didn't lip out. It ricocheted straight up and refused to fall. A sure par turned into a bogey, and Cirros was left staring at the hole like it had betrayed him. It was one of those moments where physics, luck, and embarrassment all collided at once. You couldn't script a stupider-looking miss. It wasn't a mental mistake or a bad read, just a freak bounce that turned a tap-in into a viral fail. Number 2. During a high-stakes 2023 event, Cam Davis and Will Zalatoris made a jaw-dropping error. They played each other's golf balls. In pro golf, that's no minor infraction. It's a 2-shot penalty, and they had to return to replay the hole. The financial impact? Devastating. Davis dropped out of the top 10, losing $300,000 in prize money. Zalatoris fell from 6th to 26th, costing him over $120,000. Combined, the mistake erased nearly $1 million in earnings. For Zalatoris, it was especially painful. It came during a key moment in his comeback from injury. A simple oversight in ball marking, something taught in junior golf, created one of the costliest blunders in PGA history. It wasn't a missed putt or a poor drive that tanked their tournament. It was a tiny, preventable error. Proof that at the highest level, details can still derail dreams. Number 1. Michelle Wie was on fire at the 2008 State Farm Classic. She had just shot a 67, putting her one shot off the lead. But the trouble started the day before. After her second round, she forgot to sign her scorecard before leaving the scoring area. A volunteer noticed and rushed to get her back. She signed the card, and everyone thought the issue was resolved. But according to LPGA rules, once a player exits the scoring area, the card is official, even if unsigned. That small oversight led to her disqualification. All the birdies, the momentum, the leaderboard climb, gone in an instant. For a rising star, it was a painful, almost surreal moment. 1 second she was in the hunt for victory. The next she was out of the tournament entirely. It was a harsh reminder that in golf, even your autograph matters. And there you have it, the top 10 dumbest moments in golf history. From forgotten signatures to cart path theatrics, from million-dollar mix-ups to a tap-in gone horribly wrong. These stories prove that even the best golfers in the world aren't safe from a little chaos. Golf might be a game of precision and patience, but it's also a game where the smallest misstep can cost everything. So whether you're a weekend warrior or chasing trophies on tour, always remember, double-check your ball, your scorecard, and maybe even your bug spray. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more unbelievable stories from the world of sports. We'll see you in the next one.